Hello, first grade Cougars. This is Mrs. Belatash for our week number 2. So today we're going to start talking about sound. And I want you to close your eyes for a minute. Close them. Close them. And I'm going to make a sound and I want to see if you can figure out what it is. Okay, are you ready? Here is the first sound. All right. What do you think that was? What was that sound? Well, it was a bell, right? It was a bell. I'm going to make another sound. Close your eyes again. Close them. And now I'm going to make this sound and I want to see if you can figure out what it is. Do you know what it was? It was me spraying some air freshener, right? And it made a sound too, right? So both of those things, you knew what they were, even with your eyes closed, because they made a sound. And you know what a bell sounds like. And you've heard air freshener before, or anything that has like a bottle that spritzes something out. So you were able to use your past experiences knowing what those sounds are like. All right, well, now that we know that we can listen to things, I think it's time for us to open the bag. Get your bag here, and I'm gonna try to be a little careful when I open my bag so I don't rip it too much, but it's okay if it rips a little bit. And I'm going to just dump everything out on the table, okay? All right, here we go. First grade. Okay, I have a plastic cup. I have 2 big paper cups and 2 smaller paper cups. I have some rubber bands. I have a glue stick. I have some more rubber bands. I have a stick, like a tongue depressor, and I have some clear paper, and I have a mirror, and I have some string, and some other things. You know what I want to do today, right now? I only want us to have these things. I want us to have the plastic cup, 1 rubber band, and the stick. So everything else I'm going to put back in the bag because I'm not going to use it today. We're going to use it in the future, but we're not going to use it right now. So I'm going to put all this stuff back in the bag. Okay? All right, so now I have my cup and a rubber band. We're going to make something out of these. Okay, so boys and girls, what I want you to do is I want you to take this rubber band and I want you to put it on the cup like this. Do you see that? So it goes across the top and around the bottom, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to pull on the rubber band. Pull on that rubber band. Now let's pull on the side. And now let's pull on the bottom. I'm gonna put it on the table and pull on it. Ooh. I'm gonna pull on the top again. I want you to look really closely at the rubber band. I want you to stop for a minute and talk to your teacher about what you are seeing when you pull on the rubber band. Okay, now I am going to put the stick inside the cup. And now I'm going to pull on the rubber band and I want you to watch what happens to the stick. Look really closely. What happens to the stick? Talk to to your teacher about what do you see happening with the rubber band and the stick. So let's look again. Here is the cup, and here's the rubber band. I'm gonna take my stick out for a minute. And when I pull on the rubber band, what does the rubber band look like? Does it look different? It kind of looks a little blurry, right? It doesn't look like a straight line anymore. It's moving. And how does it sound? Does it sound different if we have it on different sides? So when this rubber band is moving so fast like that, we say that it is vibrating. It is vibrating. And when things vibrate, they make noise. And when we had the stick in the cup and we pulled on the rubber band, the energy from the rubber band, the energy from the motion was transferred actually to the stick. And then it made the stick move, and it made the stick vibrate. Okay, so boys and girls, I made something called a table fiddle. And it's just with some string and some wood blocks, and I tied the string around the table and across the top here. And I'm just wondering what I can do that will make it make a sound. Think about what we did with the rubber band. Yeah, I think I'm going to pluck it. Wow! Did you see the string move? Did you see it move back and forth so quickly? Remember, that is called vibrating. When something moves so fast back and forth, it becomes kind of blurry. That's called vibrating. Now, when I use my finger to push on the string, and I let go, the string vibrates. It moves back and forth very quickly. If I change the block, if I put the block closer in, now let's see what this string sounds like. Oh, not very strong sound. It's kind of floppy. I'm gonna make it a little tighter. Ooh, listen. Sounds low. The string is not too tight. The sound is low, like a low pitch. I'm gonna make this string tighter. I'm gonna make it tighter. Ooh. Each time I make the string tighter, it gets higher pitch. When I make the string looser, it's a lower pitch. Very interesting. So I want to read this book to you called Sound and Light. Sound and Light. And this is your Foss science book. Vibrations and sound. The world is full of sounds. Can you hear sounds now? You might hear music. You might hear people talking. Let's take a minute. What do you hear in the background? What kind of sounds do you hear? Other animals make sounds too. Ah, that makes me think of my chickens at school. They always make a lot of noise. Maybe some of you have a puppy at home barking a lot. And boys and girls, I grew up on a farm in Iowa, and there were always lots of cows, and they were always mooing. They all make a sound. A sound comes from a sound source. Are these sound sources? So, is the stick a source of sound? Well, it is if it's moving, if it's vibrating. We played with a cup with some rubber band, so we saw it vibrate and we heard the sound. You plucked the string of a table fiddle. Did you feel the string move? I did. I felt it move. And we could see it, right? You could see it was blurry. Vibration is back and forth motion. A vibrating string is a sound source. Can you make a book fiddle? Try it. So boys and girls, now what you can do is you can take the cup and the rubber band and you can put it around a big book and make a book fiddle. This is how I made my book fiddle. I got a book. This one's all about birds. And I found it really hard to do with the cup on it. So what I did is I put the rubber bands on the book first. And then after my rubber bands were already stretched around the book, then I got the cup and I pulled up the rubber bands and I put the rubber bands on top of the cup. And now I have a book fiddle. And if I stretch the rubber bands, they make different pitched sounds. You can make one at home. Okay, so first graders, now we have our table fiddle or your rubber band fiddle or book fiddle, and I want to now change something to it. I want to add something. So we've talked about how to make sound, something has to move back and forth very quickly. And the name of that back and forth motion is called vibration. So I'm going to take a paper clip, and you have a paper clip inside your bag. I'm going to take a paper clip and I'm going to put it on one of the rubber bands. Do you see it right there? And right now it's pretty much sitting still, but I'm gonna see what happens when I pluck the rubber band. Okay, watch carefully. It's moving back and forth. I'm gonna do it again. Ooh, very good. Make sure to do it on your rubber band. See what happens. All right, so boys and girls, what we're gonna do now is that we're going to put some information into our science notebook, okay? So we're gonna get your science notebook, and you should have a packet like this that you got from your teacher. And the first one, it says number 1 at the bottom, and it looks like this. This looks like our book fiddle, doesn't it? I'm gonna take just the top page, and I'm also going to get a glue stick. I think you should have a glue stick in your bag as well. And I'm going to open my notebook, and I'm not going to glue it on the first page because I already wrote about how we learn. I'm going to turn it to the next page, and I'm going to glue it inside on the back of that first page. So I'm going to get my glue stick, and I'm going to glue, 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 and I'm going to put my page on the back. Okay, you see that? I glued it right in there. And now I want to take my pencil and I'm gonna write the date. Boys and girls, it's really important to always write the date in our science notebook. Today, for me, it is August 26th. So I'm going to say 8/26/2020. You put the date that you're doing this science notebook, okay? And the question is, what causes sound? What causes sound? Huh. What do you think? What causes sound? I'm thinking back to our table fiddle and what happened when we plucked the rubber band. It made a sound. And what did we see in the rubber band? The rubber band was moving. And when the rubber band moves really fast back and forth, we had a special science word. Do you remember what it is? Vibrations. So I'm going to write in my notebook, sound is caused by vibrations. Vibration is moving back and forth. Sound is caused by vibrations, and vibrations is moving back and forth. All right, I'll see you next week, Cougars.